Hello once again. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. It's sometime in June. Who cares? Doesn't matter. I've been gone for a little bit, but I'm back. I've been focusing a little bit of my attention on the Instagram. So please go ahead and check that out if you get a moment. And there's a lot going on that I'm going to completely ignore today and count down the top 10 best Drake songs ever created. Now, Drizzy Drake is a very talented dude. I did make a video about why Kanye West is the GOAT, and Drake in no way, shape, or form is even going to hold a candle to that, but he's good at his job nonetheless. So let's take a look at this list that is set in stone. It is not up for debate. I've put it in an order that I enjoy, and it can't be changed. So, starting with number 10, we have Over, from the 2010 album, Thank Me Later. Very early days stuff. The hook on here didn't even really rhyme, but it was epic nonetheless. And we knew at that point that he was here to stay. He never had one-hit wonder written on him for 1 second. Now, he did create a lot of one-hit wonders later in his career just by doling out features and sort of, you know, hopping on these new age rappers' tracks, but that's perhaps for another video. Then at number 9, we have Hotline Bling, the lead single of the 2015 or 2016 album, Views. It had this super simple video that just launched this man into the stratosphere with the puffer coat and the weird dances. Commercials came out of it, memes, all sorts of stuff. You know, it was amazing. And he was already huge at that point, but that just sort of catapulted him into this undeniable force that literally every household, perhaps across the world, knew who Drake was at that point. Then we got number 8, a song called Worst Behavior from the 2013 album, Nothing Was the Same. And he came out, he spelled it with the U, Worst Behavior with the U, very like European, Canadian, or French, or whatever it was. It was a completely epic song. It had the like space landing intro. It turned into this like birthday anthem where people were saying they was going to be on their worst behavior. And, you know, people were chanting, hold up, hold my phone, all that sort of thing. It was absolutely amazing. He shouted out Mace basically by stealing half of a Mace verse from an old 90s song. He mentioned Serena Williams. It was just, you know, it was a force to be reckoned with. And that was in 2013. And then we've got Know Yourself from the 2015 album. If you're reading this, it's too late now. Know Yourself, in my opinion, was kind of like a Worst Behavior part 2. It just had this super stadium vibe, you know, running through the 6, all that stuff. He would perform this thing and the stadium would just go crazy. And shout out to the old stadium concerts. Hopefully we'll be able to get back in there any day now. And check out, you know, another live performance. And he said, you know, pray the real live forever, man. I can't sing, but you get it. Pray the fakes get exposed. Shaky Warrior. I mean, it was just an amazing song. Then we've got Miss Me from the 2010 album, Thank Me Later. Again, it had Lil Wayne on there where he had this line that says, Drake just stands for do right and kill everything. And I mean, the man is clever, if nothing else. People could say he doesn't write or he, you know, has ghostwriters or whatever it is. But that honestly doesn't even matter. Pop stars the world over don't write their songs, and that doesn't change how good the songs are. Now, I guess things are a little bit different for hip hop, but, you know, he just has been so truthful. He talked about how he loved Nicki Minaj, and everything that Drake has done since the beginning really sort of had that vibe where you're like, it was relatable, for better or for worse. Even if you were embarrassed to admit it, it was relatable. Then we got, number 5 here at this point, Back to Back, which was in 2015. It had no album. It was made specifically to take down Meek Mill, which he did. Now, these guys had that big beef back in 2015. Drake turned Meek into the butt of jokes for months. He coined the phrase Twitter fingers. And it was called Back to Back, of course, because only days earlier he had released a song called Charged Up, which was him just really sort of saying, dude, I didn't really like what you did. And then this one just sort of, finished him, as they say. Again, they're obviously friends now, and they had Going Bad or whatever the song is. But, this was 5 or 6 years ago. So it was epic at the time. And, is that a world tour or a girls tour? He just raked Meek over the coals, and it was an absolutely epic event. He used the cover art was the Toronto Blue Jays beating the Philadelphia Phillies in the World Series back in the 90s. I mean, the man was really not playing at that point. Then we've got number 4, which is a song called Galchester from 2017's More Life. And I can't really say too much about this except for you just got to listen to it. And, it was just sheer rapidy rap, right? Like he just, for, 3.5 minutes or whatever it is, he's just rapping at you. Clever punchlines. The beat was epic. More Life, the album, of course, was amazing. It had like 18, 19, 20 songs on it. And he just didn't stop. Again, the man's work ethic is what's the word I'm looking for? Is Drake's work ethic is second to none, right? Second to zero. The man just will not stop. Even now, I don't even know what he's doing now. 2020 here, summer 2020. I'm sure he's got some song on the radio that I'm not even privy to because I was heavy into this stuff, 5 or 6 years ago. And then we've got number 3, God's Plan from the 2018 album Scorpio. Where, she said, do you love me? I'm not going to sing it for you, but you get it. You remember that thing was bumping out of cars, driving down the street everywhere. It was at every bar, every nightclub, and again, hopefully we'll be able to get back out and socialize. At least here in New York, I'm sure the rest of the country is probably acting really quite normal, but we got Governor Andrew Cuomo who doesn't know what he's doing, but I digress. And then number 2 is a song called Headlines from the 2011 album Take Care. And this is when I really knew. I wasn't sold early on. Thank Me Later and Comeback Season and what's the other one? Whatever. The other mixtape that he had. I wasn't really quite sold at that point. But then when Headlines came out, he was dancing on the billboard, the gold and black. I mean, it didn't stop, right? And that's when I was like, all right, this guy. Now, I knew, like I said, he was never a one-hit wonder. But I wasn't really ready to hop on the bandwagon until I heard Headlines. And I'm like, oh, we really got something here. And then before I get to number 1, which might surprise some people, I'm going to talk about a few honorable mentions, which is I'm On One from 2011. It's technically a DJ Khaled song, but obviously nobody was there to listen to DJ Khaled scream over the beat. So I'm going to call it a Drake song, and, it was amazing. All I care about it. I'm not going to sing it. I'm holding it back, but go ahead and click your Spotify, your Apple Music, or your YouTube or whatever, and go ahead and listen to that from 2011. As soon as you hit play, you're going to be like, oh man, I remember this. It was amazing. Then we've got a really deep cut, another honorable mention called Girls Love Beyonce. It had no album, it was a complete throwaway. I don't even know how it showed up. Maybe on his SoundCloud or his Blogspot or something back in 2013. It had the Destiny's Child sample on it, and it was just high art. You know what I mean? It really was classic Drake. It put you all in your feelings and that stuff. It was amazing. Then, of course, another honorable mention, Fake Love, the lead single for More Life. It's kind of in the same vein as God's Plan, just as far as how it spread so far and everybody just loved it. Of course, it doesn't technically make the top 10 list, but it is number 3 on the honorable mentions. And here it is, number 1, the best Drake song ever created is called No Tellin' from the 2015 album If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Now, I can't break it down verse for verse or lyric by lyric, but you can go ahead and listen to it. It's absolutely amazing. When you think the song is just about to end, he comes back and drops you with the best verse that he's probably ever written or ever recited. I don't know. I stay up late at night thinking about my life, want a lot, will I get it all? Ain't no telling. And it was amazing. It actually makes me speechless, and that's why it is #1 on the top 10 best Drake songs ever created. And again, this is not up for debate, so go ahead and listen to all those songs, and if you have another opinion, I do not care. So until the next one, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening.